demystify this for me. What is Sanatana Dharma? What is Dharma? Because television channels today are all talking about Dharma is a separate thing, Sanatana Dharma is a separate thing, Hinduism is a separate thing, Hindutva is a separate thing. So now tell me, what is the difference between these?
See, it's like this. You have to take a look at the debates surrounding the definition of Hindu in the Constituent Assembly as to how they chose to group it all together, right? So, Hinduism under the Constitution is an agglomeration of multiple identities within. So, Jains, Buddhists, Sikhs are all seen as constitutionally Hindus. The important point is, if you look at the definition of Hinduism, one is what is the core of it. The Vedic religion is seen as the core of it. Sanatana Dharma is the same as Vedic religion for all practical purposes.
Isn't Sanatana Dharma from the Upanishads and...
Can that be outside the Vedic tradition when you speak of the Upanishads? It has to be. Okay. Upanishad is Vedanta.
Because the Arya Samaji say that is what separates them from
So that's what I'm coming to.
Okay.
So this is the core. From there, you're looking at the Buddhist offshoot. From there, you're looking at the Shramana or the Jain offshoot. The difference primarily being whether they treat Veda as the primary authority with respect to what is Dharma and on the path to the Supreme. The difference in these positions is what is the primary pramana. So the centrality or that particular faith system or that particular core which gives centrality to the Vedic position is the Vedic religion, and therefore that is seen as the Brahminical religion, so on and so forth. Other offshoots are also part of the larger dharmic fold, but which do not give centrality to the Vedas. That is our distinction of the Astika and the Nastika, not the atheist and the theist. Those who give centrality to Vedas are seen as the Astik, and those who don't are seen as the Nastika. Then when you look at Arya Samajis, that is a relatively later movement of Swami Dayananda Saraswati. Each of these see themselves as part of the dharmic fold of the Hindu fold, but they may have differences of opinion with the... In fact,
the Bhakti movement,
Arya Samajis see themselves as followers of the Veda.
Yeah, correct.
But their position is, we stick to the Veda to such an extent that all other Vedic knowledge that has come out, let's say Agama Shastra, Jyotisha, whatnot, we reject that. So they are literalists when it comes to the interpretation of the Veda.
And the idols.
Right? They don't see themselves as Murti Pujaks. This is broadly the distinction. I'm here making an academic distinction. I have no interest in offending these sentiments because for me they are part of the Hindu fold. So when someone says Sanatana Dharma is not the same as Hinduism, that may be definitionally fine. But the fact is Sanatana Dharma is the core of Hinduism, and therefore under the law, even an insult to a part of the faith is an insult of the faith itself. So assume for a moment, I were to take pot shots at a particular group of a particular faith system. Will they not have the right to invoke the law, saying that these sentiments have been offended under a religious basket? So you don't get to say that they are so divergent. To say that one is not entirely the same as the other is to strike a distinction between the superset and the subset, right? There's an umbrella, there's a smaller umbrella. But nevertheless, the smaller umbrella is within the bigger umbrella. And most importantly, in this case, Sanatana Dharma is the core of the Hindu faith system. Everybody else establishes their identity by distinguishing themselves from the core faith system, because this is the yardstick, this is the norm, this is the benchmark.
So constitutionally, what is Hinduism and who is a Hindu? Because there are competing theories.
There is no definition of a Hindu as to what makes a Hindu a Hindu. Who is a Hindu is identified. If you're a Sikh, this is based on self-identification in that particular sense. However, what are the principles of Hindu Dharma have been culled out and distilled in several judgments of the Supreme Court, citing works of Ramakrishna Mission and so on and so forth. There's a longish discussion that's been undertaken there. So what is a Hindu? One who believes in the concept of karma. One who believes in the concept of, therefore, reincarnation. One who believes in the concept of Brahman, the supreme consciousness. There are some common precepts that the Supreme Court has actually identified as what constitutes a Hindu by definition.
But there might be Hindus who don't
there
believe
might
in it.
be.
But still you're a Hindu.
You're still a Hindu. So the larger definition is that if it is a faith system that is native to this land, it is seen as Hinduism. Otherwise, tribals, how would you call them Hindu? The definition, if these were the yardsticks and this is how you go about it, how do you then call tribals Hindus? The reason is they are native to this particular geography. Their faith system is native to this particular geography, which is why here is the enmeshing between the geographical aspect of the word Hindu and the religious aspect of the word Hindu. A faith system which has emanated from this land is largely within the broad fold of Hinduism.
Click here to watch the full episode.